Hi, welcome back. We now know that I'm technically incompetent, so please subscribe.
Hi, hope you're well. My name is Susan. I'm in my 60s. I have just bought a motorhome. I'm absolutely loving life at the moment. So come along with me on my motorhome adventures, and also just spend time with me because I'm always up to something. I've got two chihuahuas. They are sisters, Sweetie and Cookie, and they are adorable and at the moment quiet, so we're going to crack on while we can. So I've just bought this motorhome. This is, I think, my first sort of big adventure by myself. I had a little mini adventure with my granddaughter when I first got it the first weekend, and this is literally my second weekend, and I'm in Norfolk, so just doing the beautiful beaches of Norfolk, the Norfolk Broads today, so just hang about and we'll have some fun. I won't introduce you to Russell the motorhome today because it's not in a great state, but just to say that I'm really enjoying it. It is a small two-berth NuVenture Moniche, and I bought it because I'm just desperate to sort of have some fun, have some adventures, get to see places I wouldn't normally see, have the flexibility and freedom to just go wherever, to follow the sun really. So this weekend being in Norfolk is because the weather was just so good here, and that is what you can do with we having two dogs. It's just not that easy to book Airbnbs. You pay like £30 a dog, so I just want to be doing me, if you like, not under the constraints of somebody who owns an Airbnb who might be living nearby, or you know, you're worried about the dogs and the furniture and one thing another. You can't leave them on their own. Not that I am going to leave them on their own in the motor caravan, but you know, I just want to do what I want to do. I'm at that stage in my life, I think, now where it's about me and it's about making the most of my time. We never know what's around the corner, do we? So you might think, well, how have you come to this point? So I've always loved motorhomes. I used to actually sell motorhomes in the 80s, so I do know a little bit about them. I know the difference in the makes, and I know how caravanning life is. My childhood was in caravans since I was about 5, so we used to go to Filey and stay all summer with my mom, and my dad used to join us at the weekends, and that was just idyllic, a lovely childhood. And I've been so blessed and lucky in my childhood that I've been able to go to nice places and do lovely things. And we did used to go on the Norfolk Broads on our boat, so this is quite a nostalgic trip as well for me. So yeah, I don't know what I'll remember, but let's go and see. So yeah, I think life's too short, isn't it? You've just got to make the most of everything and every day, and just embrace it. We never know what's around the corner. So this is a good time as I reach retirement, is to start doing me. I can, you know, add things to it while I've you know, in work, because don't get me wrong, it's quite expensive setting up and everything, but I've been really lucky. My son's really into it. He's really helped me get things I need, so that I can be wild camping. Sounds a bit scary when you say wild camping, actually. So when you're looking at motorhomes, just take your time and just look for the right one. That would be my first bit of advice. Look at private sellers, look at trade sellers, and just have in mind what you want, and definitely have in mind your budget, because as I say, you do need to spend when you do get your motorhome, because there are things that you really need and they really make your life a lot better. So take your time. It might take you a year, a couple of years to really hone down on what you want. When I was looking, I said I want 4 seat belts, I want to be able to walk through the cab, I need XYZ, and I tell you what, I haven't got those things because my thoughts changed. Everybody said hire one. I didn't want to do that. I looked into hiring, and when people hire them privately, you have to get them back by a certain day, you have to clean it top to bottom, you don't really get much chance to go far, and I just didn't fancy it. I thought, I know what I want, I'm going to get one, and I'm going to get what I need. So I looked around. Sometimes I kick myself because I missed a good one. We didn't move quick enough. And I would say, if you see something, just go quickly, because they literally sell within a day. So if it's got everything you need and it's not too far for you to just take off, reserve it, tell them you're coming, because this one I bought, they said it would have gone this weekend. I was lucky. I went on Auto Trader or eBay, one of the other eBay, and I saw it. I didn't know it had only just been listed. I went the next day, and I was the first to look at it, and he said we would have sold this weekend. They wouldn't knock a penny off, so be prepared for that. They know that everybody wants this lifestyle, and so don't think that you're going to get them to throw in things, knock, the price down. They literally won't. Sometimes I went to dealerships and I thought, yeah, I could get on with this dealership. They seemed quite genuine and knew what they're doing. They've been in the trade a long time. Others I went to and they said, oh, you don't need a habitation check. Oh, you don't need this. And it worried me. So go with your gut as well. I think that's the other thing I would say. What else? Stick with your budget. If you go to a big motorhome centre, you're looking around and you think, oh, but if I spend a little bit more, I could have that. If I spend more, I could have that. And I really want that. Don't be fooled by it, because everyone you go in will be better. So don't do that. Don't. Just stick with your budget and just enjoy what you have. If you like motorhoming, you can trade up. So just, spend within your comfort zone. Don't get into tons of debt, and don't get anything that you could potentially lose money on. The one I bought was really low mileage. That was one of my critical factors, and my son kept saying, oh, if it's been serviced it doesn't matter, but to me I wanted it to start low mileage. This one I've got was 22,000 miles. It's old, but it's a low mileage and it's just mint. You can tell it's hardly been used. So that was really important for me. Seat belts you can add if you want to, so that's an option. But just think, I was really keen that I could only get what fitted on my drive. I didn't want to pay for storage. I didn't want to have to go and get my motorhome out. Didn't want to have to go and get it ready. I just wanted to take off. So Friday, if I want to, I can just throw my dogs in the back. We can get milk along the way or whatever we need, but just basically be ready all the time. And that was my real strong criteria, apart from budget, of course. So that's what I did, and I would say that was a good rule of thumb, if I'm honest. So be careful where you buy from, take your time, know what you need, do your research. And my son's really good at checking the MOTs as well on vehicles, and sometimes they look really great, and he went, oh my goodness mum, don't get that, it's completely rusty underneath. The MOT showed it to be really rusty. So do all your checks. What else was I going to say? Yeah, just make sure it's not damp, that you are comfortable, that you've got enough room to bring your things, whatever you need. If it's a consideration that you need single beds, go for that. And I think, oh yeah, that's a really good tip. So some of these NuVenture, they are very small, but oh my goodness, sometimes I like the auto sleepers as well, but sometimes the beds can be so complicated to make up. When you're wild camping, you literally want to get your bed ready and you're in it. You don't want to be hanging around because you don't want to draw attention to yourself. So what you need to do is just have a bed ready to go. This one, the slats just pull out. You just reshuffle some of the cushions, you're in. So think about that. Do you want a whole rigmarole at bedtime or do you not? Make sure when you go to the owner or you go to the trade dealer, make the bed up. Just tell them you want to look around, and if they're a good dealership, they'll just let you potter about in it, open all the cupboards, look at all the storage. You won't be able to use the taps and things, but have a good look, and just make the beds into every configuration that you're going to need. And look under the seats, because sometimes people leave quite good stuff as well. So there might be, I don't know, spare battery, or not some, no, you're not going to get a spare battery, but there might be things for the awning. Look at the handbooks, because sometimes they're in the motorhomes as well, so have a good look through those, see when it was serviced, look at the MOTs, although you can look at those online. But really give it a thorough going over. It's a lot of money, you can't afford to waste it, you don't want to blow money on it, so think as well about what the resale value. So for me, this was key as well. I know I can get my money back on this because people use them as cars. So people like to run one vehicle instead of two sometimes, so they can get these in car parks. The height's not too high, it's not too heavy. So think about the trips you're going on, what sort of roads you're going on, and then that will also help you make your decision. I'm trying to think what else I could tell you about. Lie down on the bed, see if it's comfy. Sit in the chair, see if it's good to drive. You don't want an uncomfortable driving position, do you? Make sure the cab's what you like. Make sure that you're comfortable with the size of it. That was something else that I need to tell you. You're not allowed to drive. Back in the day when I used to buy cars and used to go to dealerships, used to go run around and drive, and they'd be sat with you. That doesn't happen anymore. The place I got my motorhome from said they'd had 3 bad crashes, so their insurers said you're not taking people and they're not driving anymore. So a test drive for me was sat with the owner of the motorhome company. That's good, you can just hear the engine. You can't have a go in it yourself. You're talking about wide vehicles, high vehicles. You might never have driven anything like that before. So you can only get the feel of it really, sat in the cab. But perhaps you could actually go to Enterprise Hire or somewhere like that and hire something big and see if you like it or you're scared. Don't make that commitment and then think, oh, I don't really like driving it. I just did a house move, so I was hiring vans left, right and centre, so I know I can drive. My license tells me I can drive anything anyway. I'm of the age where I can drive most things, and being brought up around big vehicles, I've always driven things like this, so I'm okay with it. But I'll tell you something, when I was driving these enterprise vans not so long ago and picking up things for the house, they were high, but they weren't wide. So what I had to get used to with this is, because it's a little chassis and the motorhome is wider, I wasn't used to that. I haven't got reversing cameras at the moment, so there is some bleeping going on, but I can't see anything when I'm reversing. So God help everybody behind me, because they have to back up or whatever, because there are instances, I kid you not, where it can be a little bit scary. I can go down these country roads and think, how am I going to turn around here? So be comfortable with a big vehicle. Make sure that you're okay with it. When I went from the dealership, I just took my time, and I would definitely say that. Be really careful. Just driving for the first half hour, get used to it, get used to the wing mirrors, get used to the width of your vehicle, because you don't want a mishap, do you, early on? So that is a top tip for me. If you think you want to be on coastal car parks, think again, because they do have height barriers. I've just discovered this at Norfolk. I've been to Cromer and there's height barriers. I went to another beach, there was height barriers. The height barrier was up on one car park, but it said no vehicle over 2 meters, and I thought, I'm just not risking it in case they put the barrier down. So check on your height. And I will put on my dashboard the height, the weight, the width of this motorhome. I've written them down. I've not brought them. That's on my list. I've got a list constantly on the go. Sat here, I'm writing things I need, things I didn't bring, things I want to bring next time, things I didn't remember. I've got everything. I literally have not brought everything. So last night, this is funny actually, last night I was here, and I don't know if you can see all these beautiful fields. I feel like I'm in a Weetabix advert because there's all the wheat behind me. It's just absolutely stunning. Oh, where was I? So oh yeah, last night. It's really dry, it's really sunny. I'm just so happy. It's been in the 70s in Norfolk, so I pulled into this dirt track by this field. Absolutely loved it. I got into bed. I'm dying. I have proper anxiety. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I do have anxiety. So I'm lying in bed and I thought, what is that? And it was the rain on the roof. I wasn't expecting rain, so it was drip, 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 and I thought, oh, okay, this is quite nice. I'll be able to nod off to the sleep of the rain. Then I panicked. I thought, oh, you're in like a ditch thing. Are you going to get out in the morning? So then I was on my phone looking at the weather, and okay, it's fine. But I have got the levelers, the chocks, everything at home. I didn't bring them. I'm so conscious of the weight in the motorhome. That is on my list to bring this time. I cannot have that anxiety. I think it would pull away. And I was thinking to myself, oh, it's dry underneath, I'll be able to get a grip. If I turn the wheel very fast, I'm on the road. So these are the things you shouldn't be thinking about. I should be enjoying myself, and I am enjoying myself. But that goes on actually quite a nice segue. You do need a lot of stuff. So I've bought this power bank. Don't be suckered in by power banks that you see other people advertising because they're getting a commission. I'm not getting a commission. But I saw this power bank that my son found for me on Costco, and it was about £400–500, and it's got several plugs on it. It's got USB ports, and it will help me run my air fryer when I get that, which I've ordered. So I've ordered an air fryer from Amazon, a little one, because then if the gas goes kaput, I've got a way of cooking. So that's the idea. So that's 500 I've quickly sunk. I'm getting solar on the roof. That's not too expensive. He's going to super glue that on. No, he's not doing super glue, but it is going to be affixed to the roof. He did buy me a really amazing fold-up solar system, but because I'm wild camping, I just thought it was really heavy. It was phenomenal. It all folded out and it had legs. So if you're on a site, you could put that out and you would be absolutely loving life. That would power your power bank, and you'd be comfortable with that. But because I'm out and about all the day, I'm not sat on a site relaxing, so I just thought it wasn't for me. And I didn't want to have the I didn't want to put it outside if I'm wild camping, because if I need to go, or I want to go, I don't want things outside. I want to be ready to move, really. So I'm having solar on the roof, and then happy days, I'll be driving around and I'm getting solar. So that will be really brilliant. What else? I haven't got an awning on this. I might buy an awning. But yeah, there's so many things that you need to buy, really. I've bought the power cables, the hookups. I bought the water pipes. I've got the levelers. I'm going to buy I've got the air fryer on order. So much stuff, really. I put covers on here. They're not brilliant. They're only from Shein, but I wanted to save the covers because they're really nice, and when you've got dogs, and I've been shocked how dirty it gets so quickly, you know, with you tend to put your feet up when you're relaxing. Well, I do. So it's just trying to keep those clean, and they'll wash and dry within seconds, so that's good. But it's a bit ridiculous. They were about £60. They don't fit brilliantly, but I am going to make them fit a bit better. But I am glad I've got those. Obviously you want some nice cushions. I've already got plates and bowls and everything that I'd had before for the garden, so they're in here. I can't think what other big expense I've had. Not at the moment. Oh, the crook lock, that was quite expensive, more than I thought. And another top tip with crook locks, I thought you could just buy any old crook lock, and when you go on Halford's website it tells you what will fit your vehicle, so make sure you do that. I've got so many tips for you. I am going to do a tip video, but I'm going to cut it short here. We need to get off for the day. I can see the sun sort of going in. So thank you. I hope to upload this soon, and I hope you stay with me and subscribe, because if we're not doing motorhoming, we might be doing some fashion, we might be doing some cooking, we might be doing things at home. I've got a brand new kitchen at home from Wren, and I want to show you that. I've filmed it along the way, and I want to talk to you about buying a kitchen because these are the things I've learned. I just need to share with you, quite honestly. So come along. Every day is going to be varied. I think I will aim to upload at least once a week, but it's going to be fun. So yeah, come with me, because otherwise I'm just recording this for my blooming self. So yeah, see you soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.
So we ended up in Great Yarmouth. That was so much fun. Have a look. What do you think? It's exhausting for my dogs. They're absolutely shattered again.
Good morning. I am just outside King's Lynn, so that is the aim of today, to have a look around there. I'm in a park for night, and I just thought I'd share it with you. This is my first experience of park for the night, which is supposed to be a safe place where you can park up and not bother anyone. It's free to join. Oh, apologies if you're looking at my nails. I did do them, and then I don't know, they just rubbed off. I'll put that cup down now because I'm going to be so conscious of that. So park for the night is essentially so that you can find really nice locations. It's a free app you can join, and it just tells you where you can go in around a certain area, so you can put in your location, and people share pictures and their experiences, so whether it was quiet, how many vans you can park up, if there's hard surfaces or not. So it's a really good app actually, but this is my first experience of it, so I thought I'd just give you a little rundown of what happened yesterday and how I ended up here. So normally, I say normally, I've been like wild camping about 3 nights so far, but normally I find my own lay-by and things. So yesterday I wanted to go to Norwich and have a look around there, look at the history and the cathedral and everything. That didn't happen. I drove round and around. I couldn't park up. I think the problem is when you've got a motorhome, it's like, where do you park? You can go into a city centre and then it might be multi-stories, so you just got to be careful. Also, am I ULEZ compliant? No, I'm not. So after I've driven around Norwich for ages. I thought, oh my goodness, I forgot about you, Les, because these are the things you forget. So I need to set my ways up so that that doesn't happen again. So it sort of blocks places where I can't go, because when you're used to driving a modern car, you forget all these things. So this is all new to me, actually. So I went to Norwich, drove around, got so frustrated, thought, right, I'm going to leave here. Left Norwich and I saw signs for park and ride. So I thought, oh, that'd be good. But then I sort of lost the signs. And you know, when you're driving and you're on your own and you've got sat nav, I've got it on my phone, and you can't literally like start messing about in the middle of Norwich and trying to get, you know, locations on and things like that. That is quite frustrating when you're a solo traveller, I must admit. And you just think, oh, what the heck, this is a main road, I'll just keep going till I can safely pull in. So these are all the new experiences I'm sharing with you. I went to a brilliant TK Maxx. No, well, TK Maxx wasn't that brilliant, but HomeSense was really good. The best HomeSense I've ever been into, just outside Norwich. And you could park for 3 hours there in a little retail park. And I thought that was really good. They had actually a coffee shop at Home Bargains. Who's ever known of a coffee shop in Home Bargains? I certainly haven't. So that's quite nice. And the dogs came round with me and nobody batted an eyelid. I'd got them in the buggy, so they were fine. Bought some things that I needed, WD-40, some more cable ties and things like that that I thought are useful for the van, because I've got all these things at home but I haven't packed them, because I just thought, oh, I want, you know, be careful of the weight, blah blah blah. But there's things you need, and you need to have them inside. I wanted to go to Caister-on-Sea, which is near Norwich. Couldn't. I went there and literally it's a really tiny village. Went up to the sea front and you couldn't park there because there was a barrier and it was no vehicles over 2 meters. So I had a little look around and thought, oh, I'll just park up. But it's all coastal properties that have private parking permits and things like that, so I gave up there. And this is the sort of thing you find. I'm sort of giving up. I'm going to places and then giving up and driving off. So then I thought, well, where's motorhome friendly? So Great Yarmouth. Seriously not my cup of tea. Fabulous for those who do enjoy it, but it just wasn't my vibe. But oh my goodness, I drove along the front to just have a recce, really. It is enormous. It's like Blackpool. It just goes on and on and on. And there's pier after pier. The streets are so wide. You know, the weather wasn't the best yesterday, but people were enjoying it. And I must admit, if you've got children and they love rides and they love candy floss and donuts and all those, like, you know, I don't know, trending fake things and squishmallows, pop, whatever they're called, and the blankets with, you know, Dior on and all that. Oh, you're in heaven. I managed to find my favourite Costa and I just sat there and had a drink, but did get a few bits of shopping. Oh, I got an amazing dress and a blouse in Poundland. I do like Pep & Co for clothes. Now that is really random, me saying I don't like Great Yarmouth, but then I like Pep & Co. But you can find some really good stuff. So I got a couple of things in there, and I'll probably do a haul or show you later what I got. And then where did I go then? Then I went to, I thought, oh, I'll get out of here and get some petrol. So I did spend quite a few hours in Great Yarmouth. Had a really good walk. And the thing is, when you're motorhoming and you're having all these brilliant walks, you're absolutely shattered. So even when you're parking up for the night, even if you feel a bit scared, then, you know, you do sleep like a log. So went to Great Yarmouth, came out of there. I was going to go to Asda, got it completely wrong. There's a big Asda when you go into Great Yarmouth. I thought I'd fill up with diesel. Got that completely wrong. Ended up at this train station, got in a panic and drove over the bridge and ended up in a huge Tesco car park. And you could park there for 3 hours. And you know, in the afternoon, when you've been up and at it and busy and, I don't know, in the air, I sometimes like to have a little rest in the afternoon. So I went in there, had a little rest, and it was boiling hot. And then I went to have a look at the clothing in Florence and Fred, and I got some lovely things. So I'll show you those as well. So that was really nice. Got something for tea. I wanted to do this chili last night that's in a tin from Home Bargains, and I'd got it all ready for the other night, and then I didn't have any rice, so got some rice, got some sour cream, got some cheese, and oh my goodness, that was an amazing meal. Well, I'll come to it, but I had my meal in the park for night, so anyway, so I was driving around Great Yarmouth and I thought I'm going to head for King's Lynn now because I know I want to go there tomorrow. So drove towards King's Lynn and I thought, oh, 15 minutes out I'll start looking for somewhere to park. And there was nowhere, because Norfolk's really flat, which I'm not used to coming from Derbyshire. There was nowhere which wasn't sort of highly visible. I was driving and driving and driving. My son rang me up. He said, Mum, I know you're trying to find somewhere to park. Let me help you. So he went on Park for Night for me. The other thing to remember is you don't always get network on these sort of country roads. And you can't safely pull up and have a look and everything. So it was really good that he rang me. And he said, go to this Park for Night. It's just outside King's Lynn. So I came to this park for night. I said, oh, it's hard surface, because that was my big worry, that it was going to rain and I needed hard surface. So he said, go there, and it's dog walking, all there's lots of room and you'll be fine. So I came to this park for night. God, I'm like nervous telling you this. Came to this park for night and there was one motorhome behind me, and he's still here. And I know I'm no spring chicken. I know I'm not like amazingly beautiful, but people seem to gravitate towards me. So I thought, normally I'd be like discreet and, you know, getting the dogs out and putting my gas on and all this stuff. That's the thing, you have to go outside to put the gas on. So my son was on the phone and I said, oh, just hang on, I'm just going to get the gas on and I'm just going to start making my tea. So I went out. Oh God, anyway, it's all coming back to me. So there was this like little knocking on the oh God, there was this knocking on the passenger door, and I thought, oh, they say never answer a knock and all this. So I peered out through the fly screens and the guy said, oh, you've left your lights on. And I said, oh right, thank you. Oh, that's really helpful, thank you. Because what's happened is the back door is getting stuck on the Roma home. Yeah, no, it's not a Roma home, it's the NuVenture. So it's been getting stuck, and the only way to get through was to climb through the cab. So because I didn't get out of the car door and lock it, it didn't stop beeping and everything, because I just climbed over and locked it from inside. So he said, you know, you'd have had a flat battery, which obviously I would have, so totally grateful. So and I thought, oh, I'll get the dogs out. I thought, oh, I don't really like talking to people. That's what I don't want, because then they're like, oh, you're on your own and all this. So I went out, put my gas on, and he was there, and he was in the vehicle behind. And I don't know why I'm whispering. So he when I was putting the gas on, he went, where are you from? So I just thought, I thought, oh God, where am I from? I just said Norwich, because I was literally from Norwich just now. So I went, Norwich. So then he said, oh, I live in my van, and it's a nice van. He said, I live in my van, and he looked like really tanned and well-to-do, and you know, not undesirable by any means. So he said, where are you from? I'm from Norwich. And he said, are you staying the night? And I was like, oh. So I said, not sure yet. And I ran back in the van and I said to my son, did you hear that? Did you hear that? He said, no. So I explained, he said, oh God, Mum. Oh, Mum. I said, I know, why do I always get this? I just don't know. I know he saved me and I'm really grateful, but don't talk to me. I'm a woman on my own. I don't like it. So he said, you know, you'd be really okay here and stuff. And I thought, yeah, okay from you. So, and bearing in mind the door's not locking brilliant, and I am getting a new lock when we get home. But you know, when you get in bed, you're too tired to already care. So I had my really nice tea and I went to bed and slept okay. Oh, but God, this is the other thing as well. The internet went off, so my phone went off. Couldn't do any emails, didn't do anything. I was reading my book. And I just thought, oh, I don't like it, because these places are quite remote, and if there's no signal, because I don't know if my phone needs rebooting or whatever, but yeah, that's not the best when you've not got a signal either. So I'll be a bit careful. I feel like I'm better off on my own, you know, and like a quiet lay-by. Funnily enough, when I was driving to this, I saw half a dozen. But yeah, it's something to think about, because other people got network but I didn't get network. I don't know if it's because I connected to the van network and then that went off and then it wouldn't reboot onto Vodafone. I don't know. But we had a nice breakfast this morning. Well, I did. The dogs don't really eat, so I'm sort of looking forward to getting home, because then they can eat properly. And I just feel like everything's a bit grotty. I haven't got hot water, so I am boiling the kettle to wash the pots and everything, but I feel everything needs to go in the dishwasher. I just want to, you know, get all my cloths in the washing machine, change my bedding. I've only had 3 nights, but I feel like everything needs a good fettling, if you like. I want to reorganise all the cupboards, because I'm like got mess everywhere. I'm not really pack them properly, because you know the step risers and everything, I bought all those but not put them in, and then I'm sort of fumbling, and I have got things in here that I don't know where they are, but I need to have a proper audit of what is in here. The night before I had soup and a roll and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. It's all I wanted. The previous night, when I was at Cromer, I made myself the most beautiful salmon salad, and I loved that. I wasn't quite sure whether the fridge has been working, but it's working, so I'm happy with that. That's working off the leisure battery. The other thing to mention is, when you're in a place like this or by yourself and you've got the gas on, you can't drive off with the gas on, obviously. So what I have been doing is turning the gas off every night, so I'm putting the step up in case I need to move. But last night I left the gas on so I could get up early and have a drink. I do find you do get up early and want to get off for the day and just keep yourself, you know, a low profile. But this morning the dogs needed to go out, and I didn't take them out last night here. I just scuttled into here and they were fine. But obviously early they did want to get up and go out. But it's raining, so we'll look at King's Lynn. If that's not floating my boat, I'm just going to start heading home. This is my day off today. I feel like I want to get organised with the van. It's absolutely loppy. It's full of flies. I want to get those off the roof and everything. I've cleaned the windscreen. That is a thing. You do need to have your windscreen stuff handy, because when you're travelling that does get grotty quickly. So I've cleaned that. I feel like my visibility is a little bit better. If you've got no Wi-Fi and no visibility, then you're not having a good day, are you? But we'll go and see what today brings. I would like to get home and see my mum actually before I go back to work tomorrow and get the washer on. Sad, isn't it? But yeah, I think already I'm feeling like I would like hot water. I am using a lot of water boiling the kettle and washing up. That's fine. Perhaps I need to just, you know, harden up to the realities. The toilet's fine. I am, thank goodness, so happy that I've got a toilet. But then you're like thinking, oh, is it getting full? Do I need to empty it? Do I need to go somewhere? So these are some of the things I'm learning as I go along. Yeah, we'll see how we get on today. I'll show you what I bought because I'm so thrilled with what I bought yesterday, and we'll do a little try on. It might be a short one, but today I've just got this jacket on, which I think is quite versatile. I bought the matching trousers, so this is from Primark. It was £5 and I think it's quite smart. My usual Primark underneath, and I'm just rocking my jeans from M&S, and I've got a coat. I always leave a coat in here with a hood. My dogs are so good, aren't they? Let me just show you them, if I can. I'm not very good, am I, basically, with the camera? They're just sleeping. So, I'll see you later.